Well, good morning. Whether you're joining me live or whether you are watching this at a later time, I'm glad that you took some time to practice with me. So, if you're not already in a seated position on your mat, go ahead and come into that position. I typically like to sit up on a cushion, gives me a little bit of extra height when I'm sitting, makes it a little bit more comfortable as well, just to have your hips a little higher than your knees if possible. And then just allow your eyes to fall closed. If you are practicing with me in the morning, perhaps you've just woken up, but just allow your eyes to come to a place of ease, letting the eyelids fall closed, and then start to notice how you're feeling in your body today. And so sometimes when we step on the mat, there's a lot of energy. Other times we're just kind of sluggish and sleepy. So just kind of check in with how you're feeling today. And then allow your breath to begin this process of slowly deepening and elongating. So the next time that you breathe into your count of 3. And then exhale to 3. Again, inhale to 3. And exhale to 3. One more breath like that. All right, now bring your palms together in front of your heart. Interlace your fingers, press your palms forward and up toward the ceiling. And just begin to reach up through one hand and up through the other side, left and right several times. Mm, this one always seems to make me yawn. But checking in with your arms, your shoulders, the sides of your torso. Mm. All right, and then let your hands separate, take them behind your back. And as you interlace your fingers behind your back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, open up across your chest, and begin to turn your head from side to side. All right, and then reach your chin up and drop it down toward your chest. Again, reaching up and dropping down. And then once more, reaching up and dropping down. All right, as you bring your head back up to center, release your hands down to the floor. Start to walk your right hand out a little bit. And as you lean into that right hand, take your left hand to your left shoulder and then start to circle. And so your elbow is drawing a big circle in space. And you start to check in with your left shoulder, as well as all these little muscles that are attached in that area. Perhaps you can sense into your back or your chest as well. Rotate the opposite way, same arm. All right, take your left arm all the way up and over. And as you reach with that left hand, squeeze and release the fingers. And then rotate through your wrist a few times each way. All right, let an inhale lift you up. And with your exhale, release your left hand down. All right, other side, slide your left hand out, lean into it, right hand to right shoulder, and again, start to rotate. And let this circle be nice and big. And checking in with the shoulder as well as everything that's attached to it. Mm. And change directions. Again, same arm, opposite way. All right, take the right arm all the way up and over. And as you do, squeeze and release the fingers, as well as rotate through the wrist. A few times each way. Again, an inhale lifts you up. And with your exhale, release your hand. All right, so we'll transition onto our backs. As you come down onto your back, go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Giving them a gentle squeeze, just rock a little bit from side to side. This simple movement is nice because you can just kind of massage your back a little bit with the weight of your legs. All right, then release your left leg along the floor. Keep hugging that right knee into your chest. And then start to rotate through your ankle. Wiggle and move your toes. Rotate both ways. All right, and then shift the rotation up into your hips. So release your arms. And now with your right knee, start to draw a big circle in space. All right, and then change directions. All right, so the next time that your right knee comes into your chest, go ahead and catch it. And then take it over toward the floor on the left. Now, depending on your proportions, your knee might come to the floor, it might not. If you have a block or something similar, you can place it underneath your knee, or more ideally, your lower leg, so that your knee and your foot are kind of in the same plane as far as comfort for your hip. And then go ahead and stack your arms. Take this right hand on top of the left hand. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, sweep your right arm up and back towards the floor behind you. Again, inhale as the arms come back together. And exhale as you twist. And one more like that, breathing in. And breathing out. And now just make this twist as comfortable as possible. So that might mean your left hand rests on this right knee. It might mean that you turn your head to the left or to the right. Just take a moment to land into this rotation. And so we started with a 3-count inhale and a 3-count exhale. Just going to elongate that exhale a little bit more now. So take a breath into 3. Now this time exhale to 4. Again, inhale to 3. And exhale to 4. One more. All right, and then guide your right knee back to center as you roll back onto your back. Keep hugging that right knee into your chest. Now also bend your left knee, but left foot comes to the floor. And then cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Bring your legs in toward your chest, this time reaching through for that left leg. So right hand goes through the hole the legs make. Take a hold of your left leg. Now, depending on proportions, it may be more comfortable to grab around the shin or even behind the knee. But just take a few more rounds of breath. In to 3, out to 4. All right, now from here, go ahead and take your hands behind that left knee if you haven't already, so that you're able to straighten your left leg up toward the ceiling. And then start by reaching your heel up, pulling your toes down, sensing from the back of your heel down to your hip. And then point the toes up, stretching the top of the foot, front of the ankle. Again, heel up, toes pulled down actively. And one more time, point the toes. All right, so as that left foot and ankle relax, straighten your right leg up to join it. Right ankle is crossed on top. Interlace your fingers. Take your hands behind your head, but rest your head and elbows on the floor. Now, as you inhale, slowly lower your legs toward the floor. Now, you'll stop at whatever point you need to stop here in terms of intensity. Then, as you exhale, pull the legs back up to start. Now, if lifting and lowering both legs at the same time is a little too intense for you today, just keep your right leg reaching up and just lower the bottom leg, the left leg. So that's an inhale to lower, and then an exhale to lift. All right, 3 more, whether you're doing just one leg or both legs. Inhale to lower, and exhale to lift. 2 more. And last one. All right, uncross the legs, feet come to the floor, step them as wide as your mat. Sway your knees side to side. And really let the legs roll in and out as far as they're able to. Totally fine for your hips to come up. All right, so from here, left knee comes into the chest. Straighten out your right leg. Give that left knee a squeeze. Start to rotate through your left ankle. Let the toes move around and wiggle. Rotate both ways. All right, and then shift the rotation up into your hip. So arms release to the floor. Now it's your left knee drawing that big circle in space. A couple times one way. And a couple times the opposite way. All right, so the next time that your left knee comes in toward your chest, go ahead and catch it. And now we'll take this left knee over toward the floor on the right side. And again, maybe your knee comes all the way to the floor, or if you have a block, maybe you put that underneath your knee or your lower leg. Then stack the arms so left hand is on top. Take a deep breath in. And exhale as you twist. Left arm up and over towards the floor behind you. Twice more. Inhale, arms back together. And exhale as you twist. And one more like that. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then as you make this twist as comfortable as possible for you, that might mean your right hand comes to rest on your left knee. You might turn your head to the left or to the right. And then once again, breathing into the count of 3. We'll start to lengthen it even more now. And then exhale to the count of 5. One more breath like that. And then as you roll back onto your back, take that same left knee back into your chest, holding it there. Also bend the right knee, right foot comes to the floor, and then cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Guide the legs into the chest, reaching through for your right leg. So again, that means your left hand goes through the hole your legs are making as you grab a hold of your right shin or behind the knee, either way. Rock a bit side to side. And again, breathing into the count of 3 and out to the count of 5. All right, and then intentionally take your hands behind your right knee so that you're able to straighten your right leg up. Reaching your right heel up, pull your toes down. Sensing the back of your right leg from your heel to your hip. And then point the toes up. And stretching the top of the foot, the front of the ankle. Again, reach your heel up, pull your toes down. And point the toes up. All right, so as that right foot and ankle relax, straighten your left leg up to join. Left ankle crossed over the right ankle, so left leg on top. And then interlace the fingers, take the hands behind the head and elbows resting on the floor. We'll again do 5 of these lifting and lowerings of the legs. But remember, if it's too much to do both legs at the same time, just do the lower leg, but keep the top leg reaching straight up toward the ceiling. All right, so either one leg or both. Inhale to lower. And remember, you can stop wherever you need to stop as you're lowering. And then when you're ready to exhale, pull your legs back up. All right, 4 more. 3 more. All right, last one. All right, release your feet to the floor. Again, step them as wide as the mat. Sway your knees side to side. And really just let the legs roll in and out as far as they're able to. All right, so from here, go ahead and turn over onto your front. As you turn over onto your front, walk your elbows forward so they end up underneath your shoulders. And then begin to gently press down into your arms as you lift your heart, reaching it forward. Turn the head a little bit from side to side. And then lift the chin up and release it down. Once more, lifting up and dropping down. All right, now as you lower your heart down to the floor, take your arms alongside your torso. And now as you inhale, lift your head and chest. Lift your arms up off the floor, lift your feet. Reach back through your fingers, reach back through your toes. Chest reaching forward. Breathing deep here. All right, and now slowly melt into the floor. Legs release, arms release, head releases. Deep breath in and out. And now as you press yourself up onto hands and knees, take your hands under your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And then we'll start with a couple or a few cycles of cat and cow. So as you breathe in, let the belly drop, lifting your head and your tail. As you breathe out, tuck your tailbone under, round your back, bring your chin toward your chest. Again, with your inhale, belly drops, head and tail lift up. Breathing out, tuck and round. One more of those, breathing in. And breathing out. So as you bring your torso to neutral, tuck your toes under, lift your knees, send your hips up into the air. Now you might start with your knees bent here and really focus on lifting your hips up, and then drop one heel toward the floor, letting the opposite knee bend. Switch back and forth. All right, release down to your knees. And then we'll untuck the feet and sit back towards the heels as we come into child's pose. And so depending on what's most comfortable for you, you might decide to keep your knees pretty close together. You might decide to take your knees a little bit apart. You might come down to rest on your elbows. You might take your head all the way down to the floor. There's many ways of adjusting this pose, but if you don't find comfort in your knees and ankles when you're doing this, you can flip the pose over and just be laying on your back with both knees coming in toward your chest. And then as we have been doing throughout this practice, we'll keep elongating the exhalation. So this time breathing in to the count of 3 and then out to the count of 6. Now, right around the end of your next 6-count exhale, gradually bring yourself back up into a seated position. All right, as you bring yourself into the seated position, we'll do one more breathing practice before we close our practice for today. So this one is called alternate nostril breathing. So using your right hand, take your peace fingers in towards your palm so that you can use your thumb and your ring finger to block your nostrils. All right. So right thumb goes to right nostril, and then inhale through your left nostril. Close it off, open the right side, and exhale. Inhale, right side. Close it off, open left, exhale. Inhale, left side. Close it off, open right, exhale. Inhale, right side. Close it off, open left, exhale. Inhale, left side. Close it off, open right, exhale. Now keep going like that for a few more rounds of breath. Inhaling through the open side, exhaling through the opposite, inhaling through that new open side, and exhaling through the opposite. So left to right, right to left. Now, the next time that you exhale out your left nostril, go ahead and release your hand and just begin to sense the breath flowing in and out through both nostrils. Perhaps you can sense the temperature of your breath as it flows into the body and then flows back out. All right, now we'll join our palms in front of the heart. As we bow to the light within ourselves, we also acknowledge the light within each other. Namaste. Thank you again for joining me, whether this is live with you or whether you're watching this later. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any comments. If there's anything you had questions about, feel free to ask me in the comments and I will respond. Again, thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.